So, I've got this balancing on my head because I thought today we would talk about creating balance in our lives. So, what is balance? Balance is that state of being where everything, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, and your relational aspects there's time for all of it. Nothing seems too hard. You're in a state of flow where things feel timeless, that there's not a lot of effort. Even though you might be making effort, you don't notice it, and it feels like you're thriving, like you're just like energized and engaged, and you're not just surviving. Surviving, that's that sense of like, oh my God, is it another day? Do I have to get up? Oh, that's surviving. We don't want that. So let's talk about 6 ways to achieve balance in our lives and be able to stay in that state of balance or equanimity. So the first step is to listen. So who are we listening to? We're listening to ourselves and we're listening to others. We're hearing the voices in our head. We're paying attention to them. And we are doing things to reflect. We're journaling, writing, meditating, those sorts of things. But we're also listening to others, telling others and letting others be observers of our life and being interested in what they're noticing. Because sometimes we don't even notice that we're out of balance, and having those people who will check us and that we feel safe letting us know that maybe there's something you should be paying more attention to. Maybe you're spending too much time at work and you need to spend more time on your relationships. Whatever it is, we all have different ways that we get out of balance. The next one is to be present. So to actually be in each moment that you're in. That requires what's called mindfulness. Everyone's heard of mindfulness. Mindfulness is this idea of I'm here, I'm now, in the moment that I'm in. I'm not in the future, I'm not in the past, I'm not in anxiety, worried about what if. I'm just here and I'm allowing myself to feel what's happening. I'm not avoiding my feelings, I'm processing my feelings. I'm working them through. The next step, which is step 3, is to be in your body. Being in your body is another part of being here now. Feeling fully centered in a moment. Let's say you're at your office and you're sitting at your desk. You're feeling your seat on the chair. You're feeling your back on the chair. You're feeling your hands reaching forward, if that's the case. You actually know where you are in space. That is being in your body. And when we're in our body, then we can notice the sensations in our body. Our body tells us exactly what's going on with us emotionally. In other words, our body keeps the score. And the things that you might notice in your body that would tell you that you're out of balance and that there's something that you need to pay attention to would be your heart could be racing, your throat could feel tight, your hands might start sweating, you might feel your stomach clench up into a knot. Any of those things are signals. And we need to get better at listening to the signals of our body, because if we can catch those, we can course correct before we get to that place of being out of balance. And then nature. Getting out in nature, taking some time almost every day and maybe every day to take a walk in the park, to sit by a lake, to take your lunch and go outside. Getting in nature reminds us of the wonders of life. It brings us back from being out in our la land that we sometimes create, and it gives us that space to breathe. So the 5th thing is connections, creating connections with other people, having people who we can be there with, to enjoy life with, have fun with, have experiences with, and to be there to help each other through difficult times. We are built to be in connection with others. And when we don't have a healthy amount of connection, we are out of balance. And so there's lots of ways. If you feel like in your life you don't have the connections that you'd like to have, there's things like meetup.com where you can find people who are interested in similar things to you and do activities together. In my, I'm 59, so actually 1 year ago I started a meetup for people who are over 50 and single in the area of town that I live. And shockingly, I mean, this tells you about how much people need connection. Within like 2 to 3 months, there was 200 people. Now, not every person attends every event, but there's that many people who are interested in creating connection for themselves. The last, number 6, is, very important. Learning how to say no. Learning how to check in with yourself when somebody asks you, would you do this? Can you help me with this? Would you take on this project at work? Learning to check in and think, well, can I really do this and stay in balance? And that is such an important question, because making commitments to others is the best way to get out of balance when they don't fit into our lives. And so learning to say no, and if you have a hard time saying no, getting to a place that you understand what that's about so that you can start to learn to say no. These 6 things will make a huge difference in your life if you can really work with them, and leading you to a life of balance, which is equal to a life where you're thriving. Have a great day.